Did you know that over 90% of our audience watches our videos but hasn't subscribed yet? If you enjoy these stories and want to see more, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. It only takes a second and it helps us create more amazing content for you. Olivia stood by the window of her small but charming apartment, sipping her morning tea as she watched the city stir to life. It had been a year since her divorce from Jason, and while the initial heartbreak had dulled, the memories still clung to her like an old song she couldn't forget. She had spent the past several months rebuilding, pouring herself into her career as a freelance illustrator and rediscovering the little joys in life. She loved the flexibility of her work, but there were moments when the silence of her apartment felt too loud, reminding her of the companionship she once had. One afternoon, as she scrolled through her phone, a message from her old friend, Ella, popped up. "Hey Olivia, Jason is back in town. He wants to meet up. Would you be open to it?" Olivia's heart gave an unexpected jolt. She hadn't spoken to Jason since they parted ways, and while their split had been amicable, the idea of seeing him again stirred a mix of emotions. After a moment of hesitation, she typed her reply. "I think so. Let's see how it goes." Over the next few days, anticipation tugged at her. Memories resurfaced, laughter-filled moments, shared dreams, and the reasons they ultimately went their separate ways. She had grown so much since then, but a lingering curiosity about what Jason wanted to say remained. When the day finally arrived, she took extra care in choosing her outfit, opting for something casual yet polished. Arriving at the cafe they had agreed upon, she spotted him immediately. He was sitting at a table. His hair was a little longer than she remembered, and there was an ease about him that hadn't been there before. As she approached, he stood up and gave her a warm smile. "Wow, it's been a while," he said, sincerity in his voice. "You look great." "Thanks, Jason. It's good to see you," she replied, taking a seat. They spent the first part of their conversation catching up, talking about work, travels, and mutual friends. Olivia felt a wave of nostalgia as they laughed about old times, but beneath it, there was an unspoken tension. Jason's gaze lingered on her longer than expected, and she found herself wondering if he was feeling the same pull of emotions. After some time, Jason's expression grew serious. He took a deep breath before speaking. "I've been doing a lot of thinking since the divorce," he admitted, "and I realize now that I didn't fully appreciate what we had." Olivia's heartbeat quickened. "What do you mean?" "I was too focused on my career, and I didn't prioritize us the way I should have," he said, his voice laced with regret. "Looking back, I see how much I took you for granted. I miss what we had." A swirl of emotions rushed through Olivia. Part of her wanted to defend the choices that led to their separation, but another part couldn't deny that she, too, had missed him. "Jason, we both made decisions that brought us here. I needed time to focus on myself, too," she said gently. He nodded. "I understand that now. I've been working on myself, trying to be more present and aware. I just wanted you to know I regret how things ended." Olivia appreciated his honesty but knew that rekindling their relationship wasn't simple. "Where do we go from here?" she asked cautiously. Jason exhaled, his expression hopeful. "I'm not asking for anything drastic. I just want to reconnect, even if it's just as friends." She hesitated before replying. "I think we can try, but it'll take time." Over the following weeks, they spent more time together, meeting for coffee, taking long walks, and exchanging updates about their lives. Their friendship felt familiar yet different, tinged with an unspoken tension. Jason was making an effort to be a better person, and Olivia found herself admiring the changes in him. One evening, as they watched a movie together, Jason turned to her. "I really enjoy spending time with you, Olivia. Feels good to have you back in my life." "I feel the same way," she admitted. "But we have to be careful. We can't ignore our past." Not long after, Jason invited her to a gathering with his friends. Though hesitant, she agreed. The evening was lively, filled with laughter and warm conversations. However, as the night progressed, Olivia noticed Jason talking animatedly with a woman named Laura. Their easy connection made something in her chest tighten unexpectedly. Ella, who had been watching, nudged her. "Are you okay?"
Olivia sighed.
"I don't know. I guess I didn't expect to feel jealous. Do you still have feelings for him? Ella asked knowingly. Olivia hesitated. I thought I was over it, but seeing him with someone else makes me question everything. The next day, unable to shake the feelings, she asked Jason to meet. When they sat down, she took a deep breath. Jason, I need to be honest about something, she began. What is it? He asked, concern flickering across his face. Last night, seeing you with Laura, it brought up emotions I didn't expect. I think I still care about you. Jason looked at her, his expression softening. Olivia, I never meant to hurt you. I've just been trying to figure things out. I know, but we need to be clear about what we want. As they talked, they both admitted their lingering feelings. They agreed to move forward slowly, without rushing into anything. Over the next few months, their relationship deepened, built on honesty, growth, and mutual understanding. One weekend, Jason suggested a getaway to the mountains. Just us, some fresh air and time to relax, he said. Olivia hesitated, then smiled. That sounds amazing. The trip was everything they needed. They hiked through lush trails, laughed around a campfire, and shared stories late into the night. Under a sky full of stars, Jason turned to her. Olivia, I don't just want to be friends. I care about you and I think we should explore what this could be. Her heart pounded. I feel the same way, but I want to be sure we're ready. He nodded. I don't want to rush, but I also don't want to lose this. They returned home with a quiet understanding, taking their time to nurture what they had rebuilt. Over the following year, their relationship grew stronger. They supported each other's ambitions, celebrated successes, and faced challenges together. One evening, as they strolled through a park, Jason took her hand. I know we took things slow, but I can see a future with you. Do you feel the same? Olivia smiled, her heart full. I do. I've never been happier. Over the next few months, Olivia and Jason found themselves growing even closer. Their relationship, once filled with uncertainty, had now developed into something steady and strong. They spent weekends exploring new places, experimenting with cooking together, and indulging in deep conversations about their dreams for the future. One evening, as they sat on the balcony of Jason's apartment, overlooking the city skyline, Olivia felt an unfamiliar but welcome sense of peace. She turned to him, watching as he absent-mindedly traced patterns on her hand. Did you ever think we'd get here? She asked softly. Jason smiled, meeting her gaze. Honestly, I hoped we would, but I didn't know if we'd be brave enough to try again. Olivia leaned her head against his shoulder. I think the time apart was necessary. We needed to grow separately before we could come back together. He kissed the top of her head. And now that we're here, I don't want to take any of this for granted. Their journey had been anything but simple, yet the love they had now was built on a foundation far stronger than before. As the months passed, their bond deepened. They started introducing each other to new aspects of their lives. Jason took Olivia to visit his childhood home, showing her the places that shaped him, and she introduced him to her favorite hidden spots in the city. One weekend, Jason invited Olivia to a small dinner his parents were hosting. She had met them before during their marriage, but this time felt different. It wasn't about being Jason's wife. It was about being a new version of herself, standing beside him as a partner in an entirely new way. His mother, Carol, greeted her warmly. Olivia, it's so good to see you again. You look radiant. His father, a man of few words, simply nodded in approval. Throughout the evening, they shared stories, laughter, and a surprising amount of nostalgia. At one point, Jason's mother pulled her aside. You know, when you two separated, I always felt like there was unfinished business. I can see now that you both just needed time, and I'm glad you found your way back to each other. Olivia smiled. We're taking things slowly, but it feels right this time. Carol squeezed her hand. That's all that matters. One evening, while preparing dinner together in Jason's kitchen, he hesitated before speaking. I've been thinking about something, he said, stirring the pasta. Olivia glanced at him. That sounds serious. He took a deep breath. I know we agreed to take things one step at a time, but have you ever thought about where we're headed? I mean, long term? She set down the cutting board and looked at him thoughtfully. You mean marriage? Jason nodded, not necessarily rushing into it, but just knowing if that's something we both still want. Olivia exhaled. Honestly, I do think about it, but I don't want to repeat our past mistakes. I don't want us to get caught up in expectations and forget what really matters. Double asterisk. Jason took her hand. That's exactly why I wanted to talk about it. I don't want to pressure you, but I also want to make sure we're on the same page. We don't have to have all the answers right now, but I want to build something lasting with you. Olivia smiled, squeezing his hand. Let's keep growing together. If we do that, everything else will fall into place. Jason kissed her forehead. I couldn't agree more. Just as their relationship seemed to be settling into a comfortable rhythm, life threw them an unexpected challenge. One day, Jason received an exciting yet nerve-wracking job opportunity, a promotion that would require him to relocate to another city. It was an incredible career move, but it also meant that they would either have to maintain a long-distance relationship or make a difficult decision about their future. When he told Olivia over dinner, her heart sank. I'm so happy for you, Jason. You deserve this, she said, forcing a smile. He studied her, but she sighed. But it changes things. We just found our way back to each other, and now we might be pulled apart again. Jason reached across the table, taking her hand. I don't want to lose what we have, Olivia. I want us to figure this out together. She swallowed hard. Would you want me to move with you? He hesitated, his expression conflicted. I'd love nothing more than for us to be together, but I don't want you to feel pressured. This is your life too. Olivia appreciated his honesty, but the thought of being separated again filled her with dread. Let's take some time to think about it, she suggested. We don't have to decide right away. Days turned into weeks, and as Jason's moving date loomed closer, they both struggled with what to do. Finally, one evening, Olivia made a decision. She showed up at Jason's apartment, her heart racing. I don't want to lose this, she said firmly. I want to be with you wherever that takes us. Jason's eyes widened. Are you saying? She nodded. I'll come with you, but I need to know that we're truly in this together. His face broke into a relieved smile. Olivia, I want nothing more than that. He pulled her into his arms, and for the first time in a long while, they both knew. This was it. They were choosing each other not because they had to, but because they wanted to. As they packed up their lives and prepared for the move, their love felt stronger than ever. It wasn't about recreating the past, but about embracing the future, together, on their own terms. And for Olivia, that was the kind of love worth fighting for.